hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Does she see me? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking this weekend, or in this case, what 4 beers to avoid.
Air quotes, beer.
If I had to guess, little glimpse into the future there.
We're doing a 4-pack tonight.
Super excited about this, Troy.
I know Lee's really excited.
I would not have shown up.
Well, it's become our MO to leave out certain details.
Where in the world is Stu this week? Has anyone heard from him?
He just texted us.
He
like
just did text, and now I was feeling bad. I was like, oh, shit, I probably should have reached out, but I kind of assumed he was gone.
I assume he's not available, especially this. We're coming up this weekend on Memorial Day. Like,
He's gotta be
that has
traveling.
got to be, jet setting around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stu.
That's prime, like, divorcee, new girlfriend, travel weekend.
Oh, yeah,
time frame.
for sure.
You would think.
Yeah.
Stu falls in both buckets.
Yeah, exactly. They're hitting San Diego this weekend, I bet.
I would think somewhere
Somewhere
dope.
tropical, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But-
They're going towards the equator probably at this point.
Yeah, it got below 70 here.
Yeah.
Time to hit the road somewhere. a little more
Gross, it's
tropical.
raining. See you nerds later.
That's exactly right. Oh, it's going to rain on Wednesday. Where do you want to go? Barbados. Why not?
Let's go track those turtles in the Galapagos Islands.
There you go. You got it. You got it
Yeah.
the second time. You almost choked on
That's
it
right.
the first time. You
It's a
almost
big
got-
word.
You almost got
is a
Darwin.
big-
Don't ask me to spell it.
I struggled with some words earlier.
You did. Equitable? Is that the word you were looking for?
It was, ambiguous. I know that one.
There you go.
But I forgot the other one.
It was tough. You were having a rough go. I was kind of like, damn.
Well,
Where's
the one
Stu?
side of his face was kind of drooping a little.
That would fit the way the weeks are going. If Lee just stroked out right here, I'd be like, yeah,
That checks out.
fucking par for the course.
Yeah.
That's how things are going. The weeks haven't gotten much better, but at the same time, I feel like I'm doing a little better. I tell you, last week I had joked that these listeners need to find Jesus. These listeners care.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Had a lot of people crawl out of the woodwork over the past week. So just thank you to all of them. It actually does mean a lot. It's very interesting though, because I guess I was cryptic enough that all these assholes are boo-booing it.
Yeah.
Like piecing together, beautiful minding, trying to figure out what's up.
Corkboard is up. The red string is going from pin to pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you some of the people I think are on the wrong track, and
I'll
just leave it at that. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you dumbass!" Like, no, I don't. Fuck you. But just leave it alone. Leave it alone. I think we're trending in the right direction. Things are better. This has been a rough week though for some of our listeners, unfortunately. So shout out Duke. We're thinking about you, buddy,
For sure.
and the whole family. We're sorry, and just leave it at that. If you ever want to talk, we'll let you come on the air. But we're thinking about you here. You've certainly been a topic of conversation. All the people who reached out, seriously, heartfelt, thank you. It was good to hear. A lot of kind words, either by email or text. No funny emails came in.
No.
I saw that when looking at it. Does not. Last episode didn't breed the humor I was looking for. I thought most of
we
it
were
was funny.
hilarious,
Yeah, I
yeah.
thought most of it we actually did pretty well, but everyone was like, "Oh man, want to talk?" I'm like, "No, dude."
It's the opposite of what I want to do right now. I'm tired of talking.
I thought you were a listener. You need to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of us don't want to talk.
Yeah. That was said.
But apparently a lot of people were like blown away that there was talking. And my wife had a good observation. She said it's because she thinks in this social media age, everybody only shows the good. And then when there's anything bad, you gloss over it. You don't mention it. You just show people that your life is good. And I guess we were showing that maybe sometimes life isn't great. And I think that was shocking to people. And they were like, wow, that was really cool. So here's a word of advice. Yeah, you can just tell people what's really going on.
Yeah.
Just be honest. I think it's better in the long run.
You love honesty.
I do love honesty. That has always been something I've hung my hat on, for better or worse.
It just goes to show you. I mean, if Will Smith and Jada Smith have problems, any of us can have problems, right? I mean, honestly, if we're being truthful.
Yeah, I mean, you said it before the show too. Like, think of our parents' generation where you would just bottle
yeah.
that shit up, and I'm modeled in that way where it's like I don't want to talk.
Yeah, there
about
was
anything.
a meme. I forget what it was. I should have saved it. It was hilarious. It was like, it was a woman basically saying, "How come guys don't cry? Like, what do they do with their emotions?" The guy basically was like, "We push it down and drink it away and die at 42 like a man."
Exactly.
Like a man.
Yeah.
Like every American man should.
That's right. Like our dads.
George
and our
Washington
dads
had
did.
it right.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'll probably make it a few extra years because I let it out.
Yeah.
I think I can get to
A
50.
little pressure
Pussy.
relief valve there.
A little bit. Of course, I'm grayer.
Yeah.
Grayer than most, which is not cool.
I don't know. It's distinguished.
Yeah, that's what people say,
They say it's very much a backhanded compliment. I feel.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, that limp looks good on you. No, it doesn't.
You make it look cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we didn't talk about this pre-show, but you share something. I'll share something.
Oh, God.
Last Friday, I had my my medical procedure.
How much you want to talk about
I
that?
had my colonoscopy.
Yeah, how'd it go? Oh, dude, you got polyps?
So, for those who don't know, you're supposed to do it when you're 45. We have friends that
You did it young. You
I
did
did
it younger.
I did it a year young.
10 years early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 years early.
I did it a year young. Family history, so I wanted to jump out ahead of it. So, of course, you don't eat the whole entire day before, which honestly I was worried about. It wasn't that bad. And then the night before, you start drinking that mixture of liquid to make you literally just shit your entire guts out,
Yeah, yeah.
which that didn't taste bad, but you are on the toilet from... I drank the first concoction at 4, and you drink another one at 8, and then you just chugging water.
PM
in
or
between.
8 AM?
PM.
Okay.
And I was basically,
8
I was on the,
8 AM?
yeah, we're all having trouble with words.
Words are tough.
I was basically on the toilet from like 4:30 to 11.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Say it
was
slower.
a long night.
Say it slower.
So,
How many pics you send to Brendan?
I don't think I sent any pics. I was leaving Brendan alone. But I definitely was conversing with people, like texting my college buddies, like, here's the update. So then the next morning, got there at 9:30. I was in and out an hour and a half. Procedure was painless. They knock you out, which I've only been, was a little bit nervous because I'd only been put under once, and that was in high school for wisdom teeth. Like
Yep.
when I have my vasectomy, they don't put you out. They just give you some laughing gas, basically.
Especially when they fake it like yours. Dude just pinched you real good. He was like, "You're all done."
So had the procedure. I was out by 11. But the worst part was when I woke up, the doctor was like, we found a polyp, took care of it. But the problem was I still had shit in me. They could only get halfway in my colon, like whatever the distance is.
You're impacted?
So I wasn't cleaned out. So I had to go. I have to schedule another one.
No.
Yeah.
For the more difficult half.
Yeah. The upper half.
Further up.
Yeah. So I get to go through the whole damn thing again.
I did not know this, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's exciting for you.
Getting old, man. It's the joys of getting old.
I'd like to not.
It's better than the other option.
I don't know that it is. From where I stand.
No, it really wasn't bad. The procedure wasn't bad.
Let's dive into that comment a little bit, you prick. Which one of us are you looking at when you say that, or are you looking at the
His eyes are
darting?
He compared us to his father.
Literally
right before, yeah.
in the pregame conversation.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are probably like my dad. Y'all look at the obituaries every day, right? Like there's actually a newspaper we flip open while we have our coffee and fucking
Motherfucker
toast.
thinks I'm at Hardee's at 5:30 in the morning.
He doesn't know about that yet.
Yeah, waiting for the other guys to show up so
Yeah.
we can tell war stories about Martha.
And who died?
Yeah. No, I banged Bernadette in 52.
Oh, you still watch Matlock every day, right?
Nah, I'm a Murder, She Wrote guy.
Yeah.
And Columbo. That's right.
Did you ever watch Murder, She Wrote?
No.
But
I
me
watched
either.
the fuck out of Matlock with my grandma.
Oh,
back in
did
the
you?
day.
I
Hell
never
yeah.
watched that either, but I do
was her
remember
favorite.
like Murder She Wrote was on a heavy rotation as a kid, and I always was like, this chick's an writes books and she's solving crimes. That just sounds like the lamest show I've ever heard.
It must have done well, though. I mean, right?
Yeah, but there were 3 channels and 8 shows.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, I think back. I mean, to my childhood when it was like, yeah, here's 20 channels. Like that's all there is. Like there's nothing else on there. There's nothing else there.
You
there
don't
can
know.
be.
Yeah,
like,
you're not old enough to know when it was a 3 or a 4 channel because Fox showed up and that was a game changer.
Dude, Fox,
Yeah.
right?
Fox
Just
had the cool stuff.
coming out of left field with The Simpsons
Yeah.
and Married with Children. I was like, what is this channel?
You're like,
I definitely had like Discovery Channel and like.
Of course you did. You had cable.
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't have cable.
We used to do this trick, man, where you would take, so you had UHF and VHF knobs, right? And VHF is the main channels. That's like your
6, 8, 12.
CBS,
sure.
NBC, Fox.
Yeah, what you
later.
pick over there? Whatever.
Which they've actually changed, right? Those aren't the number. I still call them 6, 8, and
yeah,
12.
they're
I
like
don't know.
8.1
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Like,
So then you had the UHF channels, and this would be like your PBS.
And Fox.
Fox was always on it because they were 35.
Yep.
So it was like, that was a whack number.
Yeah, I guess it was odd and even numbers, right? Because PBS here was 23 and Fox was 35.
Yeah. And they were always higher numbers.
Yeah.
But so the trick was that if you could it was weird. If you had a cable hookup later, you could run the cable into it and the box would get confused, right? So you would have to be on channel 3. 3 would allow you
that's
to
right,
watch cable,
yeah.
right? But if you changed that bitch over to like 4 and then started tweaking the VHS knob, the VHF knob, then you would get channels that you weren't supposed to get, but they were scrambled and like there were lines in them.
sure.
And so you could catch like something where you'd hear it and you'd be like, that's sexy.
Yeah, you could like watch scrambled Playboy channel.
Yes. And then like you would
But how
see,
do they
like-
have Playboy Channel though? Like, how do they have?
this is
like,
after the cable
Skinamax.
after
like,
the cable showed up.
Okay.
Your TV was still old and could take these other signals. So you would
You had to
throw
have
it
a
off.
special cable box that like you could
But it had to be on channel 3
Yeah.
or whatever channel it was. And then
it was 3.
that's when it would come in. It was almost like when you go in your car and you put on like an FM modulator and you go, whenever I'm on channel 88.3, I can listen to whatever's coming through this.
Sure.
So that it would screw up the cable signal. You'd switch over to like 4 and then you start flipping through the VHFs until you dial in something that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And you could see like HBO late at night, or you could see like the Playboy channel or something
Yeah.
would come through, but it'd be all like,
You just catch it like in
screwy.
waves. Like,
yeah, and you'd see a nipple go by like zoom, zoom.
Oh, I became a
Zoom.
man watching that scrambled porn.
And you would, man.
Yeah.
And you would like, you'd be watching, but there was no remote to fix the glitch. So like
Yeah.
when mom came home, you would have to go screaming from the couch because the sound,
Just swing
the
those
sound
channels.
was clear. like, look at the nipples on her. And then you'd be like, ah! I'd have to run across the room. And if they caught you and the sound was off, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You would see the nipple coming through the fuzz.
because you knew the pattern. You were like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes. You're just moving your head with it. Trying to stay in time.
It was ahead of its game. It was like a paid subscription like HBO. Like you had to pay extra for the Playboy channel.
Man. I think it's interesting too. Like, there was no internet to tell you how to find these things. Like,
No.
somebody just
Yeah, you-
happened to be sitting around and tweaking with it, like you said, and
The
then
kid
somebody
4
told
years
somebody
older
else.
than you had to tell you how to do everything.
But the same thing with
Yeah.
like the original Nintendo, where everybody just knew to like blow in the
Yeah,
cartridge
blow
to
in the
like
cartridge.
get the dust out. Like, how did we figure that out? Like,
Yeah. Dude,
do you
speaking
ever play with a regular Nintendo?
yeah,
original
I've got one
Nintendo?
at the house.
Nice.
You play Punch Out?
No, we were big on Top Gun and
Good luck getting the fuel in that jet.
Right?
Dude,
It's impossible.
it's so hard.
It's like every now and then I could do the refueling, but I could never land it on the aircraft carrier. I crash it every time. But I loved playing Top Gun. Top Gun, Super Mario Brothers, or I guess it was just Mario.
Yeah.
And it was the first one. Yeah. Dog.
no, the first
And that
one,
8-bit sound too. dog.
Yeah.
Dude,
that
it's so
first
good.
one, that first one was Super Mario, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
We played that. I took that to college with me, man. That was a great like late night, 2 a.m. You get back from the bar.
All your
you sit
buddies are
around
like,
playing
dude,
like
check
Super
out your
Mario
retro
Brothers.
gaming system.
Hell yeah.
So I can still sit down in front of like Mike Tyson's Punch Out in any state of inebriation.
You can still put in the cheat codes.
No cheat codes. I will
okay.
start at Glass Joe and I will roll through that first set. And it's like, I still remember, I'm like, all right, Bald Bull's about to, boom, right in his
Yeah.
stomach. And he goes down. Like, I still got it. I can always get basically all the way to Mr. Sandman And then it's like, there's where I start having troubles. But I can still, to this day, get right up to him. But Mr. Dream and Tyson, but
my dad and I always played the whatever WWE game there was for that.
Yeah.
I always played as Sting, and that shit was dope because it was again like the little 8-bit thing where you would like slide back and forth across the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the reason I bring that up is I just saw something today where Mike Tyson has these autographed pictures of all of the characters from Punch-Out in their 8-bit form. So you got Glass Joe, Soda Pop Instinct.
Who's autographing them?
Mike Tyson.
But why would he autograph? He's not Glass Joe.
No, but he's it's the original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out character lineup, and it's all.
But he's not those guys. He's
Tyson's
Tyson.
the one standing in the center.
Yeah.
But then you have all of the different characters, and they had all this memorabilia. You know, you get boxing gloves signed, robes signed, pictures of him standing over Spinks signed. But I kept staring at that one, and I'm like, man, I kind of want that Punch-Out 8-bit. It's $200.
That's not bad.
I don't think that's horrible, but I was like, do I really want to spend $200 on
Poster?
a Punch-Out thing?
Yeah.
And it's 20 by 12. It's not like it's big,
Yeah.
but I still kind of no. This one has every character,
oh, gotcha.
every character from it. But I kind of like that one too.
Yeah.
But that's the look that happens after Mike Tyson kicks your ass. I don't want that look. But I kind of was thinking about that. Like, I kind of want that. Now, they did sell the original Mike Tyson Nintendo game signed. And that's $1,000 because it's also the collector's. It's hard to get your hands on.
I'd rather have
Nintendo.
something you could frame and hang on the wall.
But do you think that'd be like I would want to put that in here? Because I think Punch Out was like one of my favorite games as a kid. Plus Tyson signed. I think that's a badass piece of memorabilia.
Yeah, I think that would fit well in here too.
I think so.
I love Contra.
Up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start.
Yeah.
Dude. Start out with them 30 lives. I
Select start, 2-player.
Oh, good point. I didn't have friends.
I had the Game Genie too, which was dope.
That was the cheat. So this thing, you would plug in the Game Genie first, and then you would plug the cartridge into the back of the Game Genie.
Yeah, the Game Genie plugged into the cartridge and you slid the whole thing in. And you could enter all sorts of cheat codes like for unlimited lives, and
It just opened up all the cheat
I
codes.
didn't have any of that.
So you'd put your game in and be like, "Oh, look at me, invincible."
yeah,
Like that was the official spoiled kid thing. Like you went over to their house and they had that. I'd be like, "Man, you son of a bitch."
Yeah, we had a straight NES, and then all my friends always had N64. So you got to play like Star Fox and like GoldenEye and all that.
GoldenEye
shit.
is the only reason.
Mario Kart. But my neighbor had a Sega Genesis, and anytime that they would go out of town and I'd watch their dog, he'd be like, "Yo, just take the Sega Genesis home and like you could play that." And so that was always a dope time to get
Which
that.
was the first machine that ever had like the first like John Madden type game where it would there was an announcer.
Yeah.
Changed everything.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy.
You
How
hear
do
the
they know
same
what I'm
6
doing?
lines.
Yeah, but at least they were making the
Yeah,
jokes,
exactly.
you know, or making the comments. And you were like, this is
And he's wide open.
this is a game changer.
Yeah, no, that was wild. He was a big Dan Marino fan. I remember that so distinctly. And whatever.
That's sad.
I know. He that was the first time I played Madden was because he had whatever NFL Madden, whatever game, whatever year it was.
It was like a
on
Joe
Sega
Montana
Genesis.
thing. It wasn't even like
it was
Madden
before
at
it was
that time.
Madden. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was game changer.
There's a great documentary on Madden.
There's like a 30 on 30 or something.
Yeah, 30 for 30, I think.
I'll have to check that out because
Yeah,
I
really
love some
good.
Madden.
And like he's in it, like they're interviewing him, and like
Well, he should be.
He's getting all, but a lot of times they're not. Like no,
Dead,
it's like a
so
sit
how was
down.
he in it?
Huh?
He's dead, isn't he?
No.
I think Madden died a few years ago.
Oh, you know what? He died right before or right after the thing came out, I think.
He got that old disease. You don't hear about it that much. Fat as shit.
For his entire life.
Yeah.
When the motherfucker made a turducken and
Yeah.
like made that popular, it was pretty writing on the wall at that point.
Yeah, he
I
made
think
that
so.
company who made it. Like he
Yeah.
made them rich.
Literally just like a random ass bar
Yep.
in New Orleans, I think it was. And the guy was like, I mean, I guess I could whip this together.
He
and
also
then-
made like traveling in buses dope.
Yeah. That is like the equivalent. If you walk in, you find a dude on the ground with the turducken next to him. That's like the equivalent of a needle in your arm.
Yeah.
Like you're like, you did this to yourself.
You know,
you chose this path.
he caught a lot of hell for riding in that bus, but I would venture to say, especially now the way air travel is, like unless you own your own jet, if you're taking any sort of commercial flights anywhere, even if it's first class, you might just be better traveling everywhere in a bus.
There's a ton of musicians that exclusively travel by
Well,
bus.
yeah,
And
yeah, but not like guys in his field.
Buddy
like
Holly, Richie Valens,
Big
Skinner.
Bopper,
Yeah,
all the greats.
all exclusively by bus.
I wish they had.
No shit, right?
But think about it, like you work all day, and then you get in your dope bus, and you wake up, and you're already at
Yeah,
the next place.
you
It's
sleep-
not like
yeah.
let's go sit at the airport for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Let's fly 5 hours. Let's wait for the baggage for another hour. Like y'all know, or Brendan, you travel a lot more than I do.
I can't stand it.
I mean, it's awful now.
Yeah, now that they're like getting me back into it, I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like I forgot how much I don't like it.
Yeah. My buddy's wife tried to go to Miami with some friends this past weekend. She had a late flight Saturday, and they delayed it, and then canceled it. And she and her girlfriends, the ones that didn't catch the flight, they were flying in from all over. They had to like get in a car and drive down there for the weekend. That's a long drive for a couple nights.
That's the biggest kick in the pants too. When you've got your flight,
Yeah.
and then everything goes wrong, you're like, okay, well now that we've invested 10 hours in not getting on a flight, let's
Yeah.
get that car and drive the next 16.
Yeah.
I was going up to New York one time to see a concert, and I was dating a girl in New York at the time, and
Suspect story.
had a train lined up and everything, and started going, and real bad snowstorm came up, and it was kind of questionable whether we were going to make it the whole way anyway.
On the train?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we got to DC, and they were like, "Hey, we're not going any further. Like, this is where we're stopping. We'll continue this trip in the morning. Like, we'll honor your tickets, whatever the deal is." And I was like, "Man, I got this concert I'm trying to go to. Like, I'm not gonna just sit in DC, or I'm not gonna go back to Richmond or whatever." So, tried to get a rental car, and of course, everything at Union Station, they're out of rental cars. But the girl was like, "Yo, if you can make it to Reagan." They've got cars there. Tell them so-and-so sent you. I don't remember her name now. Tell them so-and-so sent you. I just called. They got a truck lined up for you. You can take it. I was like, great. And I'm standing there in this line, and there's these two girls behind me, and they're trying to do the same thing. They're going to New York also. And I was like, hey, do y'all want to ride? Like, we can all split this rental to go up there.
And they were never heard from again.
Damn it.
Sorry, I stepped all over your story.
No. And they were kind of,
Your girlfriend, there's nothing your girlfriend
Yeah.
likes more than when you show up with two other women in the car. Hey,
well, I
hon.
dropped them off before I went.
Smart, smart.
And I hope you left that detail out.
But yeah.
What's with all the hickeys? There's these new Fords.
I just spent 5 hours in the car with two truckers. Yeah, they were two gross trucker dudes.
Yeah, Mushy Michael and Andy.
Yeah, ended up renting this truck from the fucking airport. Of course, everybody had gotten to the airport because the
Yeah.
airports are shut down too. No one was moving forward from DC north, and ended up driving this truck the rest of the way up to New York. And I mean, we got in at 3 a.m, like missed the concert. Obviously,
Yeah.
it was long gone.
They're like, hey, it's not safe for a train to travel on tracks. Take your rental car, though, and have at it.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't even go up 95. I mean, we went up into like Pennsylvania, and then came way over because
Yeah.
95 was a shit show. But it was fun. I mean, I had never done something like that before, and literally just met strangers and was like, "Yeah, pile in this truck." I mean, any
Y'all
one
split
of
the
us could have
cost?
been.
Nice.
Any one of us could have been a serial killer. And
Have you ever talked to those women since?
they chose poorly.
Have you ever talked to either one of them
Yeah,
ever since?
yeah, both of them actually.
Well, then good. Then you got
There
a
you
friend
go.
out of it.
Yeah, yeah, it was a neat experience to get to do something like
That
that.
is a fun story.
Yeah,
That's something you do when you're young.
yeah, for sure.
Isn't that the truth?
I'd rather
Or
if-
John
if it were me
Candy
today-
does in every other movie.
If you ever meet him today, yeah, I'd just be like, no. I would like this vehicle to myself,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. Yeah, now. Like, I don't need your $57. Hit the bricks.
Yeah. Oh, you crying? Go
Yeah.
cry over there. You're bringing me down.
This truck does have the bed in the back. If you could just ride back there, it would be really great.
I got an extra jacket. Take these extra gloves. My hands are sweaty.
You right-handed?
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's
You
the
left-handed?
Rockies.
Perfect. You can split this pair
It's
of
the
gloves.
Rockies.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Old travel stories. Good times.
And that had me thinking of a story that wasn't funny. I'm like debating if I should even tell it. But here we are.
Pandora's box is open now, so let's go.
No, this was a weird one. I was in Ireland, right? Have I told this story on the air where I met the two girls at the Guinness Brewery?
If you did, I don't recall it, but that's
Doesn't
not.
sound familiar.
Yeah, not a great story.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I'm sitting at the Guinness Brewery, right? And I'm at the end of the tour, you get to drink like the world's perfect Guinness directly from they
From
make it here.
Mother's teat.
Yeah, they don't move it far. They move it from there to there. And then they tap that bad boy and they let you drink it. And so you get to have like 2 Guinness. And they're the greatest Guinness you've ever had. And I'm sitting there and
Nice and warm and toasty.
they are cold.
No, they like them warm. I've heard the stories.
That is a misconception. That is a lie we said when it was still a third world country. Now we did that.
They have ice over there?
They do now.
Holy shit.
They do now.
Big for them.
Big timing.
Yeah.
But so I'm sitting there and
Them in
I'm
Afghanistan, really moving up in the world.
wow. So I finished my first Guinness and then I see that these 2 girls, they have a pack of Parliaments on the bar. I'm like, oh my God. Been smoking these like dirty British cigs.
Coolest chicks he's ever seen in his entire life.
Yes. And if there's one thing I know about Parliaments, right? I'm like, I lean over and I was like, you guys from Jersey? Nailed it. Like, nailed it. They're like, how did you know? And I'm like, they're just the Parliament. I was like, could I trouble you for a Parliament? Or like, sure. Like, all right. So we finished our second Guinness, have a Parliament. I'm like, this is great. And then they're like, you want to hang out? And I'm like, yeah, 2 chicks from Jersey.
Hell yeah.
They smoke. Like all the signs are there.
Things are looking up.
You look like you make bad decisions. I see you smoke.
You're in Ireland.
Yeah. So
You want to hang
And
out
you're
with
talking
me?
to me.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're hitting for the cycle right now, lady.
Like, this is going great, So we go out to a bar and we start pounding them because it's noon.
Yeah.
So we're
Sun just came up.
You're on vacay.
we're getting hammered and we decide to go into the heart of Dublin, go to this other bar that's just like packed. Like this is the spot, right? So we're sitting there and we got this table and like place a standing room. And these like
Were you solo?
I was solo at this time, yeah. And my family had left and I had
This is a family trip.
yeah, but I'd extended for a week.
Oh, wow.
I was like, screw this, I don't have anywhere to be. And I don't have to get by on but so much money.
Yeah.
Like I'm a do Ireland.
Never traveled like that by myself. That's pretty cool.
I didn't stay solo long. So
Making friends.
yeah, so I'm with these 2 girls. We go to our next bar, right? We're sitting there, we're partying, and then these like Irish guys, like with the thick brogues, come over and they sit down, kind of like mind if we dance with your date situation.
No, we were just leaving.
Yeah. So they sit down and they start talking to us, and they're like, "Man, we should go to Bono's club." Like talking, and I'm like,
The Bono?
Bono's club. And they're like, Bono's
That's
club.
like Brendan's right under God.
Yeah, so it moves
Yeah.
under the table.
Yeah.
Little twitch.
I'm like, oh, hello, yeah.
Little involuntary hip thrust.
Wouldn't mind.
Brendan's like, I'm wearing these oversized, ridiculous sunglasses. Of course we're going.
What the hell? So we're sitting there and we're partying up. Everyone's having a good old time. And I'm pretty well hammered, so I'm like leaning back in my chair, kind of like I'm leaned out. Like I don't
Well,
care
you're
if
cool.
I don't care if they're chatting up these girls. Like they're not with me. Like it's not like what do I care? Like we're just having a good old time. And I noticed this one dude keeps doing this weird arm motion. Like just like out of nowhere he starts doing this like it's almost like a twitch. Where he's putting his arm up across the table and back. Across the table and back. And he keeps doing this motion. And I'm like
a dealer clearing everything. Like no more bets.
That would be that would be a really face no more bets. It's
Yeah.
exactly the motion he's doing over the
Palm down. Like
palm down over the stuff. And I'm just like, something about this doesn't feel right.
seems weird.
Is he getting any closer as he's doing this?
Oh no, he did it twice
Sizing you up.
and I didn't like it. So I'm sitting back and I'm not letting on that I'm watching him and I'm just kind of watching. Then I notice he does another pass. And this time it's like directly over the girl's beers.
Oh,
And then comes back.
Snap.
And now I'm like, nah, that one was fucked. So all of a sudden he swings his arm out one more time and I shoot up like a shot and grab his hand. And everyone's like, what the fuck you doing? Like I've hit the table.
Yeah.
I've made a big scene. But I'm like,
Glasses are clanking around.
yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm grabbing his hand. He's looking at me. He's like, the fuck are you doing? With his fucking.
Yeah.
And I turn his hand over and I pry open his fingers and there's a fucking pill
No
in his hand.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, you've been running your hand over these girls' beers, and I see this pill in your hand. Like, what is that?
Didn't seem like he's doing it very discreetly. Like, I feel like you would like reach for something, but like doing the whole like hand sweep is like,
He did it one too many times for me to not like.
So that was like his practice moves, I guess.
I think he did a practice, make sure no one's paying attention. Girls are talking to his friends. No one's paying attention, and I'm sitting back, sunglasses on.
Yeah,
Like
Thanks,
I'm
Bono.
like I'm not paying any attention. Grab his hand, I see the pill, and I'm like, he's like, I'm not doing anything. What the hell? And I was like, then why don't you take this pill?
yeah.
Because you're obviously trying to put it in something. Why don't you take the pill? And he's like, I'm not going to take that pill. That's stupid. I'm going to take the fucking pill. And I yell. And he stands up, and all his boys stand up. And then this motherfucker starts screaming, this fucking American's trying to hit me. This fucker tried to hit me. And the whole bar starts coming in.
Oh,
like
snap.
crowding in on me. And he
Jackass
turns around
American.
and takes off, and then the crowd fills in. And I have to force my way through the crowd, and I chase this dude out into the streets, and he's gone.
Did the girls see like he was trying to fucking?
Oh, they picked, when I was like, what the fuck is this? I was
Yeah.
like, you're putting these pills in their drinks. You take the damn pill. And he's like, I'm not going to take it. The whole thing blows up in my face, right? And then
Sounds
he
like
runs
this
out.
wasn't his first rodeo. Like he
No.
knew how to make a distraction. He knew how to get out.
And he knew how to get out of it, too, by
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
this American is trying to fight,
Yeah,
causes a bigger commotion. The whole place closes in on me. He scoots out. I chase him down an alley. He gets away. I go back to the bar, and I sit down with the girls, and I'm like, hey, so I don't know if y'all are drugged or not.
yeah.
But like one or both of you may be starting to feel really fucking weird. in about
Don't drink
30
any
minutes.
more of those drinks.
Yeah, I was like, stop everything you're doing.
Yeah,
I don't trust this. And I'm like, how much do you guys trust me? And they're like, we trust you enough. And I'm like, we're going back to my hotel. I know that's the weirdest thing to say. I was like, but
yeah.
we're going back to my hotel. I took them back to my hotel, and I set them in the bed, and I sat on the floor, and we watched TV, and I fed them waters.
And you and everybody stopped drinking. Like,
Yeah, I was like, I got to watch these women. Like one of
Yeah.
them's probably drugged, if not both. Oh, and hell, I could be, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I could have been the one they were after.
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean, I
when-
looked good.
well, I mean, when he's
Those
dropping
sunglasses were
I would
tight.
assume if you're dropping pills and a table full of drinks, you don't know you don't necessarily know whose drink is what. Like maybe he might have dropped pills every pass.
And the whole trick was, we're going to Bono's Club. Like we were closing out to go to Bono's Club. We were going to finish these drinks, and then we were leaving. I think the plan was get us out in the streets, wait till you see who starts fading, peel
Throw 'em
off.
in a car, yeah.
Peel off, take the rest out. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what the hell to think. So we sat there in my hotel room for like an hour and a half, just sipping waters until everyone felt fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you guys want to like go back out and start drinking again? Like, and it was like the saddest,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we'd been having the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It
Hardly
already,
in
It's
like,
hard to unring that bell.
Yeah.
it's already bad enough when you take an hour and a half off,
Yeah.
but now it's like, all right, you guys want to go out drinking? Like we sat in this quiet ass pub.
They're like, I want to go back to Jersey and never fucking travel again.
I felt so bad for them. I ended up taking them back. Like after we had a few more drinks, they were like, we're just not feeling it. Like the sun was down. I was like, yeah, I get it. Saddest night, dude. Took them back to my hotel room.
Did they not have a room?
They didn't have a room, or they didn't want to be alone. It was something, but it was like they literally slept in my bed, and I slept on the floor. I was like, this sucks. Like the plans I had
Yeah.
when this started, bumming a Parliament and having a Guinness, to where we ended up, where it's like, even if I could, I'd like mentally, I'm like, they could
can't.
be
Yeah.
drugged, and like I never kept in touch with them. That's what made me think about it, because I was always like, like I did them right. I did them right, and I always wished like we'd exchanged an email address or something, like been in touch. But they were two school teachers from Jersey, and both were engaged, and they were like last hurrah in it.
They probably sit around and tell that story and they go, and this guy saved our asses.
I would like to think so.
Yeah.
This real nice Canadian guy, really.
He kept saying he was from Ireland, but by way of Canada and Arizona, and I think he was from D.C. too.
It was weird.
Yeah,
now that I think
sounds
about
weird.
it, he was the weirdest person we met that day.
And we almost got drugged.
Yeah. That was a weird one. But yeah, that's why I asked you to keep it.
That's wild because you've heard stories. I've never seen it, but you've heard a million stories about it. There was actually a Shark Tank recently. The wife and I watched Shark Tank, and this girl made a scrunchie that you could unfold and put over your highball glass, and it had a hole for a straw. It was just big enough for a straw, and it was for when girls go out drinking, and they just put the little spandex cap over their drink for that reason.
I'm the weirdo now. I do this all the time. Like my wife gets up if I'm in a crowded bar, or if I'm with a girl in a crowded bar and she gets up, I take a coaster and I put it on top of the drink. And then when they come back, I take the coaster off. But it's like, I don't trust that I'll always be vigilant enough
Yeah.
that I'll see something if something happens. And so now it's like, it ruined me. Like now I'm always like, these shady motherfuckers are everywhere.
Yeah. People can't like reach across the bar for a napkin now without Brennan like having PTSD.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Yeah. Hi-ya!
Yeah. I'm just
Fang wooing.
I Fang woo these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how I roll, dude.
I'm just trying to get a napkin to get the condensation off my beer, dude. What's
You
your
broke my
problem?
wrist.
He's got a pin down on the bar, like ready to break an elbow.
He's got them all Ricky Bobbied up.
Exactly.
I will break your arm.
Why don't you go ahead and
Go ahead, Frenchie.
I've definitely had
We ate a whole mess of crepes this morning. Oh yeah, I like them. Just
I've had a lot of weird stories like that. We probably shouldn't
So,
drag
so
it.
this whole incident happened at the Guinness Brewery?
No.
Or
We
y'all
left the Guinness
there
Brewery,
and
went to another bar.
Yeah.
And then the one girl was like, we should go to this place. I heard it's hopping. We went there. That's where it went down.
Gotcha.
And I never made it to Bono's Club.
Man.
And these nice guys were going to take us.
oh yeah,
They said they had all the ins.
Take you to Bono's Club, all right.
They were. Turns out they were just giving us ecstasy and we just ruined the night.
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
We're going to Bono's Club.
all right, full disclosure, like drugging somebody is clearly wrong, but like if it had been X, like you could have had a fun time.
Yeah, he and I would have been making out Bono's Club. I don't know why this feels so good. This goes against everything in my being. He's thinking,
Does it though?
wrong cup.
Gotta think in a lot of those European countries, that probably used to happen a lot. Like the clueless American shows up and it's obvious because they're like, all American accent up and wearing.
Yeah, I mean, I look back to like the study abroads that I did, and man, the looseness of our like awareness is shocking. Like looking back on it, and we were all in safe places. We always were in groups of people, but I mean, we were out 2, 3, 4 in the morning sometimes in cities you've never been before.
Yeah.
You could barely remember how to get back to where you were, and it's like I got a passport and a wallet on me. This was before anybody had iPhones or any kind of ways to be connected outside of that. And it's like, man,
And then you wake up and you're like, do I have my passport and wallet still?
Because I need that
Yeah.
passport.
yeah. We had one of the guys on our trip actually at the end of the semester. He was going to go and travel for an extra 2 weeks, like travel around Europe, and he had some friends that were flying over, meeting him. Somewhere along the way, he got robbed and lost his passport. He basically smuggled himself back on a train across country, country lines and all, to get back to Italy, to where they had a copy of his passport in the villa that we stayed in, and he was able to like use that to get an expedited passport.
Wow.
And fly back home or whatever.
That is sketchy.
It
When you're
was.
smuggling yourself
Yes.
across. Because I remember the first time I was.
Because they stop at every every time you cross
Yeah.
country borders or whatever on a train, they stop, they check passports and everything else. So what he said, so the first time
You got to go to the bathroom. Time it.
he was in the bathrooms, he was asleep. I was like, dude, I wouldn't have stayed in the carriage. I would have gone in the bathroom and like hidden out there.
I got
at least.
woken up by a guy with an M16 just across his chest. Like,
just giving you the poke, like
he was just poking me, and I'm on the train.
yeah.
And he's like, wake up, dude. And I'm like, why is there a gun?
Yeah.
Like, why is there a big gun? I just need to see your passport and your ticket.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was a quick punch, and like, he was gone. But to wake up to an M16, it wasn't pointed at me, but it was enough.
It was,
Yeah, I
It's
would
enough
think
that it
that's
was-
still jarring.
Yeah, I woke up, and that was an M16 attached to that dude who seemed angry because I hadn't woken up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've had a rough few days, man.
Yeah, so the first time I saw this dude back in Clemson, then in the next semester or whatever, I was at a bar and we get to recounting the story or whatever, and he was like, "Yeah, I was genuinely worried. Like I had no idea how I was gonna get back. I didn't have a wallet, I didn't have a passport, I had no money, but I already had like the tickets and everything. Like that I already had. Like I knew I could get on the train,
Yeah.
but didn't know how far I'd be able to go or anything past that."
That's
Made it
scary.
back to Italy.
That's a resourceful dude. Of all the people on that trip, that's the one guy that I would say if that happened to, he'll find a way.
I'd like to think I would have found my way back, but you never know, man. Like that is sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have just gone straight to the police or the embassy or something.
Yeah.
That's not how you do it. You get on that train. You start bourning that shit.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne.
That's exactly what he did. That dude's a hell of a guy.
Hell of a guy. Hell of a guy.
Yeah.
That dude's money. Mm-hmm. Hey, can we have some bad drinks?
MacGyver.
Can we have bad
Yeah, man,
drinks?
let's have bad drinks.
That sounds super exciting. All right, I'm going to go try to figure these out.
There's 4 of them.
Oh, boy.
They're in the bottom. I gotta remember what brand they even were.
Aren't they Bud Lights?
No, this is like some brand I'd never even heard of. We got 4 Rebel, Rebel, 4 different flavors of hard iced coffees. 5%, if I remember correctly. I'll read more when Brendan gets over here with the cans. But they are
And they're all coffee flavors, right?
they're 4 different coffee flavors, yes.
The thing is, if anybody that does know me knows that I've never consumed an entire cup of coffee in my entire life.
Do you like the smell of coffee?
I don't mind it, but it's definitely not something that I would.
Which one we having first, Brendan? Or
vanilla.
Which 4 are we having?
We have vanilla latte, salted caramel latte, mocha latte, and for the end, Irish cream.
This is a malt beverage with natural flavors and 100%.
Oh,
How do you say that?
Looks so disgusting.
oh, Lee, this is your lucky day, my friend.
Sweet and
Pours
salty.
out like diarrhea.
The salted caramel latte says sweet and salty. It's 5%.
What
I
is
can only
this one?
imagine it's
Vanilla
full of
something?
carbs.
What's this first one?
You want to read the can? Or do you
This
want me
is
to?
the 12 Fives Rebel Hard Coffee. 12 Fives, which would be 60. Yeah, Abacus. I knew
Big
I could
math,
get there
guys.
before you.
You did not.
I
This
did.
looks like coffee. It looks like
Does it?
well, that's what like vanilla coffee looks like. Like it's very full of creamer.
Dear listeners, this is what milk
It looks
that's
like
been
chocolate
sitting
milk.
outside for too long looks like, I think.
Okay, I've had the vanilla latte.
That is sweet.
That is sweet. I don't hate that at all, though. So, have you ever had?
So each one says something different around the 5%. This one says smooth and creamy.
This one, okay, yeah, we got a sweet and salty, a rich and creamy, and then smooth and creamy. So they're not that different. They're all
Does this
creamy.
taste like coffee to you?
No, this tastes like
Pure vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vanilla extract.
Yeah. This tastes like if you had
Milk and vanilla.
a hot chocolate that got chilled and you added vanilla to it at the end.
I mean, I don't hate that at all.
I don't hate it either. I just wonder if I drank the whole thing, if I like want to start.
Yeah, who's
puking.
choosing to drink a can of this though?
Well,
And in what
we are.
scenario?
Right on a Tuesday night around 9,
This is perfect for
because
your
you need a
9
little caffeine.
This is perfect for your 9 a.m. Zoom meeting. Yeah, is there caffeine in there? That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Is there?
If it's hard coffee, I mean, if it doesn't have caffeine in it, I'm not drinking it.
Drink different for those who seek experience over ordinary.
100% Arabica coffee. Yeah.
12 Fives Rebel satisfies the senses with the spirit to keep things social. Dangerously delicious with a creamy blend of Colombian coffee and indulgent flavors that take you to the fringes of extraordinary. There's a little rebel in all of us.
So this is made with coffee. So
hate
yes,
this.
it does have what you calling it, caffeine.
So I just went lightning fast.
I see that. It does contain milk.
Yeah. I wasn't lactose intolerant 5 minutes ago, but I am now.
This next one is the salted. Do we want to grade each one?
Oh, I can tell you I like vanilla better than salted caramel.
Salted caramel latte. This one is sweet and salty, which I love. Like if I go to a Starbucks, I get the salted caramel.
Me
Like,
too.
That's one of my favorites.
I'm a caramel. I'm also like, if you're
Sweet
gonna
and
do-
salty.
if you're gonna do hot fudge,
You
I'd
can
rather
drink out of
have
a can if
I'd
you
rather
want.
have caramel. Yeah, because you don't want to drink all these, so you just drink that one out of the
You
can.
poured way too much in the
Yeah,
first
so
one.
and you got the lowest amount, so I'm gonna be cripple after
That's
that
a big jump.
because the vanilla was pleasant.
Yeah.
This is even more candy like. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think I'm gonna dump this.
Lee is washing his palate out.
I kept going back to the dang vanilla one, and I forgot that I need to move on to this thing.
Do we want to grade each one of these? Do we want to score each one of these as we do it, or we want to wait and do it as a whole?
This score lives within the Rebel Coffee universe. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is not my deli score.
Yeah.
Vanilla was a 4. Salted caramel is a 2.5.
0.
2.5. Not a super fan of the caramel one.
The caramel was so bad.
Yeah, that
The
actually.
more I drink of the salted caramel, the more I like it, but it's still not as good as the vanilla.
Lee,
This is where having one glass really is problematic.
No, can't really.
I'm talking about for you, like having to just put them back.
Yeah, having to house.
oh yeah, no, we're facing them. We're facing them. You see, we're gonna go from not funny to funny real fast.
This one is rich and creamy. This is the mocha latte.
Yes, it is. There is no denying the mocha.
So there's chocolate in this, huh?
That's fantastic. Okay, living again in the Rebel world.
Yeah.
That's a 4.5.
Oh wow, you like it that much?
Oh, this is hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
that just
cold
tastes like chocolate.
chocolate.
There's no
Cold hot chocolate.
There's no coffee in that.
No.
Like that's
That's
fantastic.
yeah.
Like that's a 4.5 for me, dog.
If you told if you told me that every coffee tastes like this, I'd be like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, no, that's
What do I need? Is this what I need to order? Or is a mocha latte?
Yeah, if you don't like coffee, yeah, that's what you would like, a mocha latte.
I mean, that's really tasty.
Do you have a 12.5's Rebel mocha latte, please?
I can tell you right now, the caffeine's real because I'm
feeling it?
amped up,
Very quickly.
amped up and dumber, which is
That's
always
a great thing to add
amped
to
up
you.
and dumber.
Yeah.
Okay, so far, there's no doubt that the mocha is.
That's a weird, like dry aftertaste. Though.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a pleasant drink, but it's
Well, it's a malt beverage.
yeah, to say the least. But I mean, that's it tastes like a Frosty.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's very frosty-ish.
Going back to because I still have some of the vanilla in my glass. I would almost say that the vanilla one's better than the mocha one, though.
Yeah, you see, I wouldn't know because I only have one glass. I just know that I really dig the mocha and I dug the vanilla.
Recency bias.
What is Irish cream? Because that's the next one. Like, what is that flavor?
Kahlua.
Yeah. Well,
Well, not Kahlua.
not Kahlua.
Kahlua.
Bailey's.
Yeah, Bailey's.
Or St. Brendan's if you want to get technical.
St. Brendan's.
Yeah.
Throwback.
My wife and I were putting St. Brendan's in coffee.
Is
the
it
other
minty
day.
though? Is because they're always green.
No, they don't have to be minty. It's just the Irish Kahlua. It's cream and whiskey. That's it. And shit tons of sugar. Because, now that they're no longer a third world country, the true test of not being a third world country is the level of diabetes.
Yeah, that's really how you know you make it to first world
Oh,
status.
this says shake
Absolutely.
well.
Oh, that's cool.
You turned over this first one, I think, but I don't know that I saw you do any of the others.
I can only imagine how much sugar and carbs are in these things.
That's what I was trying to see
Two?
if they had any.
Yeah.
2? Many?
All right, Irish cream. for the
Irish
fourth.
cream. Here we go.
I thought these 4 were going to take us longer
I got all amped up.
That's plenty. That's plenty.
because of the coffee.
I don't know. I think I was just excited.
What's this one say? This one says
Irish cream says no pills.
smooth and creamy.
No pills. Big bucks, no pills, no
Oh,
whammies.
God.
Oh, this one smells
There's
atrocious.
fake bourbon in there. Fake
is there
whiskey.
really?
Oh, you
Fake
can
whiskey
smell
flavor.
it.
This smells like
I hate
Ugh.
you.
Oh, that is.
we should have.
I've never been mad about like doing a drink before, but this one I'm mad.
We should have done this one first.
Dude,
Get the taste out
that tastes like you woke up with a butt plug you didn't know about in.
your mouth.
Did they
After.
That is
like
fake
leave
bourbon.
some Jameson in
That's
any of this? What the
horrible.
fuck?
That is Jameson in there.
But it's
This is the perfect first drink. Why did we not do it? It says it right there.
Why is that the perfect first one?
because they're saying everything will taste good after this.
The perfect first drink, anytime, anywhere, satisfies every time. Smooth and creamy, coffee with a barroom kick for your night out or your night in. I hate this brand.
That sucks.
Yeah, that one's my least favorite.
No, that is atrocious. So
we
that's a 1 in the Rebel lineup.
Yeah.
So I'm going
No,
4,
We should rank these. We should.
4 vanilla for me. 4 vanilla.
Yeah, but we should rank them like 1 through 4.
I'm going to go 1 being the best.
Is that how we've been doing it? Yeah.
I think
Right?
I never
I'd go 1 mocha, 2 vanilla, assuming one's the best.
Yeah.
1 mocha, 2 vanilla, 3 caramel, 17 Irish coffee.
Yeah.
Because there
Fill in
has
the
to be-
blanks
yeah,
for
there's
something else.
Literally.
Yeah, that is bad.
Like if you spit in this glass, I'd drink it before. That's bad
You said mocha first?
for me.
I would do the vanilla first, then mocha, then salted caramel, and then the Irish cream.
It's really bad. Okay, Troy, tiebreaker.
That one's a limited
So-
edition though.
So the
Thank
thing
God.
is, like, the mocha and the vanilla thing, that's just personal preference. Like, to me, they're equally good. The mocha and vanilla are equally good. Certain people get mocha coffee, certain people get vanilla. So, kind of hard to judge.
Throw a score at it.
But
It's
they're
not
both
science.
good.
It's
But
not
they're both
science.
good. But I would probably go. They're 1-2. Salted caramel 3. And I didn't think the salted caramel was that bad. But again, 17 would be the Irish.
Oh, there's no doubt. That is really, really bad. Like I hate it. Like
Yeah.
I actually really dislike it. I'm gonna finish it.
You didn't hate any of the rest of them.
No.
So are we surprised by this?
Yeah.
Like we like it. We like it.
I thought
No, not. I'm just saying this is the Rebel hard coffee, 12.5's Rebel hard coffee. This was a 12-pack. There's 3 of each flavor in there.
So what are you gonna do with the rest of these fucking things?
I think they're at my house.
I'm hoping that's all of them that are in here, right?
Yeah, I only brought these 4
That's
over.
the kind of shit that sits in my cooler for
Yeah.
decades.
I bet on a Sunday morning, like 11 o'clock, if people are coming over for football, maybe that's where people would jump for that.
I can tell you this. I think this. I think the mocha here is better than the PBR hard coffee, and I really like the PBR hard coffee.
Yeah.
I thought the mocha wasn't as sweet. I thought it was pretty solid. Had a better. I think I would drink the Rebel hard coffee over the PBR. Now I'm pretty sure the PBR netted out around a 3, and I'm not going to go higher than that here because this is a sugary sweet mess of a mistake. But I'll go as high as 3 on a true deli scale
Yeah.
for the chocolate and the vanilla, knowing that we're playing in this hard coffee realm.
Yeah.
A little too sweet for my taste.
Do we want to recommend it? Would we recommend it?
No.
No. Okay.
Absolutely not.
No.
I thought we liked two or three of them. I kind of was.
That's why I'm
impressed.
giving the 3 to the top one in the overall deli scale. I'm saying the vanilla and the chocolate, there are 3. They won't get a deli,
If you love coffee,
but they're better
would
than
you like
bad.
it?
They're better than bad.
They're definitely better than bad.
But I can't go 3.5 because God forbid someone take our advice and go buy it.
True. True.
And give 12s, 5s
I'm with
more
you.
money.
I'll give it a 3 across the board. Just
So I'm saying that is a 3. But the Irish cream latte never
but
can
every
be had.
4-pack has that, right? Like every
Yeah.
4-pack of like seltzers you buy,
one,
you're
just-
like, there's
Why the
one
fuck did they do
off-brand. Like
Yeah.
like stick with citrus, stick with lime, like
Yeah.
orange. And then they're like passion fruit. It's like, get this shit out of here.
I mean, every now and then you get like one of those oddball ones that ends up being the highlight. But yeah, every one of those
Not today.
mixed packs does have something that just is a fucking anchor.
Irish
Yeah.
cream was like it was curdled.
What was the holiday drink that sat here for a year that Celia went back and had?
Oh, and it was curdled.
Yeah, of course it was. It sat here for a year.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, what was that?
And it was
I
some,
bought the holiday 12-pack of seltzers that's still sitting over there.
the problem is the Bud Light started adding all the stevia.
Yeah.
When they weren't adding stevia, I loved all their holiday packs. And then all of a sudden they went stevia and messed it up. Lee, did you drop a score on these Rebel hard coffee, the 12.5s?
1.
Boy, so we're netting out at like a 2.
No, I will say the mocha and the vanilla were okay. I'm definitely not somebody that drinks coffee. So again, if you like coffee, maybe this is your thing. I could see it being honestly a 2 for me.
We never did this 12-pack I'm looking at.
Run it up. Let's go.
No, they're
This is the
lukewarm Bud Light.
Bud Light
That's the
Seltzer
way they're
Fall
meant to be
Flannel, 3 apple
It's a flannel,
crisp,
Brendan.
3 maple pear, 3 pumpkin spice, and 3 toasted marshmallow.
Yep. Sign me up. Let's go.
I find that
I go.
Bud
Somebody
Light-
had a marshmallow. Where's one marshmallow missing? Oh no, there's not. There's 3. Someone had a pumpkin spice.
that adds up.
Come on.
I
Let's go.
literally only bring basic bitches in here.
I want to try the marshmallow, honestly.
Yeah, we should, but I have found that with a Bud Light seltzer, you want it to age for about a year.
You want to get a lot of temperature fluctuations.
Big time.
Yeah. Hot and cold.
I've got some Hardywood gingerbread stouts.
Oh, me too.
No, that I put on the screened-in porch,
Oh.
and I never brought in.
Nice. I
They
have
went through the whole winter, and now they're going through the summer.
love that for you.
They're good.
They won't be curdled at all.
No, they'll be good. All right,
Yeah,
so
like
did you
all-
really give it a 1?
No, I would give this. I'd say 2, honestly. But it comes from the lens of somebody that doesn't drink coffee. So
So this is coming in at like a 2.66, give or
Yeah.
take, somewhere in there. So
Yeah.
that's about where it should have netted.
I can see someone liking these.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would
all of
have
them-
one of them. Like you said, start with one and then move along to another drink.
Might I recommend vanilla and mocha?
Yeah, I just think that all of them take out of being a coffee were all way too sweet. Like that's where it's like, where are you drinking this?
They
In
were
what
all hella
scenario
sweet,
are
yeah.
you drinking this? And why are you drinking more than one of these? So that's where I struggle with something like that.
I would definitely be puking like Peter Griffin after the Ipecac. Like if I drank more than one
Yeah.
of those. Like it would be so sticky sweet. I'd just be like, "Bleh."
It's a little much.
Yeah,
I can't get it out of my throat.
yeah.
Need some more Miller Lite to wash it down.
I'm desperately trying, man. Oh, while we're talking about Irish bars, dude, we go back a second. I had a run-in this past week. I don't know. This is going to be a little inside baseball, but to those who aren't in the Richmond area, there is a well-established Irish bar here in town. Been around for quite some time. It's called O'Toole's.
Yeah, that's probably the oldest one in the area.
Yeah, there's always, every town has like that old Irish bar that over time has gotten more tchotchkes on the wall and more bullshit, but it always has a good lunch crowd.
Yeah.
And then gets filled up at night, and the people drink. Every town has one. Well, ours is O'Toole's.
And it's in a weird part of town.
Not in the city. It's in
Yeah.
the city by
Area, but not.
city lines, but nowhere that you would like, hey, I live in the city. Like you just live in an area where the schools aren't good, but you don't have a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
City by school zones, but that's about it. And in O'Toole's they have like family crests.
Yeah.
All over the walls. Like people have brought them in over the years. They just fill them, right?
Mostly of actual, like, Irish proper names.
Yes. So
Like O'Toole's.
So a couple years ago, I'm sitting in O'Toole's and I'm looking around, I'm reading all the crests, and I'm like, I don't see Kennedy. Like I can't find Kennedy.
Is that like a big Irish name? I know you're Irish, but I feel like
Even if it's not, you're in America and that's American royalty and they're Irish. Like just put it up. Like I get it if it's in Ireland, maybe you don't have it everywhere. But in America, the president,
Yeah.
royalty, my mind, like
Yeah. 1 + 1 = 3.
boom. So like,
nailed it.
put Kennedy up. You know what I mean? And I'm like walking around and I find this damn thing and it's behind like an old 27-inch tube TV.
So they did have it.
Yeah, but they put it behind a television. Like you cannot see it unless you go around and look up. And I'm like,
So you were
right.
really like searching this place high and low.
all the times I went in there, I would like look around and I'm like, I can't find it. Like it has to
They're
be.
all, for those who don't know, they literally wrap the entire wall and they're all on the same plane. So you can kind of just like swing your head 360 and it's just like, and they're right next to each other. It's like bang, 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 all the way around the whole bar.
So one day I finally found that it was behind the television. And I called the waitress.
You
up.
go all Karen on them, don't you? May I speak to the manager?
Really, really funny you say that because the story that's about to happen, my daughter was like, you Karen to the guy? Because I went to the waitress and I said, hey, the Kennedys behind the television. I mean, that's, and I gave my speech. It's royalty. You're in America.
I hope you are making this up for content.
I wish I was.
You actually complained about this?
I did. To the waitress.
What is wrong with you, dude?
So then the waitress gets
Spitting your food.
gets Mr. O'Toole.
Oh,
Brings him over. And I decide to have a conversation.
how'd that go for you?
Poorly.
Did you feel threatened?
He did.
He's like, this fucking place has been here 42 years. You can fuck off.
Yeah. And he told me, he goes, I'll tell you what, man, after I'd like complained for a while. He goes, I hear what you're saying. He's like, we'll make a concerted effort to move the O. Kennedy from behind the television as soon as we can find a spot. Or
Was it
somebody
O.
else.
Kennedy?
O. Kennedy.
As soon as we find another family name to remove off of the wall.
Yeah. So he's blowing me off.
He's just swapping them out with whoever's complaining this
Yeah.
month.
Fuck that O'Shaughnessy guy.
Yeah.
So I go back in there.
You're behind the TV. Until next month when you come back.
I go back in there months later. Kennedy's still behind the TV.
Who could have seen that coming?
And I'm floored. I'm floored.
I thought I
So
really
after-
made my point.
So
thought
after
I-
you came to and pulled yourself up off the floor.
I doubled down.
Yeah.
Doubled down.
Oh, no.
They never moved it. Never will.
Not now, especially.
I think I've pushed the limit.
Next time he goes in, there's going to be extra screws in it. Like,
Just mounted in there.
yeah. A caulk bead around it. Like, there'll be a spotlight on
epoxy.
it, though, behind the TV. Like,
Just
So-
to make sure
red-
you're aware that this bitch is staying where it is.
a big red sash across, a big X over it.
So they opened a new O'Toole's
Yeah.
over here closer to my house now on this side of town. And the O'Toole's has always been super packed and I couldn't get in. Well, last Friday,
It's probably actually further from your house than the other.
probably equidistant, honestly. Yeah, you're right. But so I go check out the other O'Toole's and I walk in and my wife sits down at the bar. And I walk up to the bar. I don't sit down. I just look, I say, Guinness. And I turn around and I start walking the perimeter
You're going to make it right.
of the bar. I'm walking around, I'm reading all the names, and I'm noticing we're missing one here.
My name?
We don't seem to have an O'Bauer or an O'Kennedy. And so I'm like,
But there's a Jones, like right in the
Yeah.
first corner.
and I hear my
Jones.
wife. She's talking to the bartender, and she's like, something tells me he's looking for Kennedy. He's got a thing about Kennedy. And so I come
It's my
walking,
birthright, woman.
Yeah.
I come walking back over and I go, man, I walked the whole damn place. There's not a single
Do
Kennedy.
you think
here.
there could be just different names in this one?
I know I didn't take stock of who was in the other in this one. I only took stock of the
All right, let's
deficiency.
cross-reference.
Now we need to. do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
Because there might be more than 50 Irish names out there.
I
Or how
doesn't feel like it, though, honestly.
Well, there's one, I know. There's one important one.
you would think
Yeah.
royalty, all that.
I'm
Cannonball
gonna
Court.
next time I go there, I'm gonna pitch a fit over the O'Kennedys, and then when the guy asks me if that's my name, I'll be like, no. But I
it's
can.
American
But
royalty.
I stand united.
I stand.
That's I would appreciate that.
I won't come back to this restaurant every 3 years like I've been doing for the past 14 years. If you don't right this wrong right here in front of me.
So I say something to the bartender, and she goes, "Well, you know the guy you need to talk to. It's right there. That's the owner."
Oh, he's there.
And I look over and I'm like, "That's Tom O'Toole." Hell yeah! And I think to myself,
How can this go better this time?
Yeah.
I think to myself, I'm not going to do it this time. I'm going to be a grown up.
You thought that, and then what happened?
So I
He had
waited
two
for-
Guinnesses.
No, I had about half a Guinness. And then all of a sudden I just stood up. You hear the stool. You hear the stool.
I've had enough. God damn it!
I snapped. And I go walking up to the owner. And I'm like, hey.
Remember me, bitch?
I'm like, love the new place. Looks great. It was like really good. I was like, so I was noticing the crests. And he goes, oh yeah, mine's the biggest, O'Toole right there. And I was like, yeah, how do you decide on those? And he goes, well, you see the two next to my name? He goes, those are my investors. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I was like, and how do you decide on which names
Oh, my
should
God.
go up there? And he's like, honestly, I wanted this time, the last place, people kept bringing them in. And then I keep having to put them up and they look different. They were different sizes. And like, I just didn't want to do that this time. You know, so I commissioned an artist to hand paint all of these. And I was like, oh, cool. Now
So they have another person to fight.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was.
Can I have his name and number, please?
It's hers. It's hers. And apparently she's very sick. And she hasn't been able to paint anymore.
R.I.P.
Yeah, well, not yet. She's still alive. I confirm.
Best of luck.
I confirm she's alive.
Get well soon.
And when the tremors are gone, she'll be painting again, damn it. And I said to him, I said, what would it cost for me to commission a name? And he was like, what's missing? And I was like, Kennedy. I don't see Kennedy, you know.
He hadn't pieced it together. Who you are.
He pieced it together right then.
Right then, yeah.
His eyes kind of got big. And he's like, oh yeah? No Kennedy? And I was like, yeah, not that I can see. Not that I can see.
Oh, did he put it behind the urinal? Is that where you
And I said at the other place, you know, it's like behind a TV or something. So it's like, it's really hard to see.
Oh my God.
And he's like, yeah.
I cannot believe he's pitching it to everyone.
And so I'm like, so what do I got to do to get Kennedy up there? And he's like, get in line.
Yeah,
He's like, you'd be shocked how often
that happened.
I hear people complain about this. And I go, yeah, but they're like, probably not like normal Irish names, but like this is American royalty. You know what I mean? Like you're in America.
Yeah, but it's an Irish bar.
Yeah, it's the most American Irish name there is. And I was like, you know.
Oh, it is?
And yeah, this is what I was trying to explain to him. And he's looking at me like, yeah, buddy. And he finishes counting his money and he puts it down. He walks out. I just follow him.
No.
And I just walk with him and I'm like, so whatever we got to do to get the O Kennedy up. And he's like, look, man, he's like, you see that wall right there? He's like, they're going to have to be smaller if they go on that wall. And that's going to be the next wall we fill. And I was like, well, I'd love to put O Kennedy in the hat. And he's like, I know you would.
Did you grease him?
I did not.
Dude, you got to. You're the tip
0.0.
guy. You're the tip guy. If you were
Big
ever
tip
going to
guy.
tip,
Big tip
that's
guy.
where you tip. Andrew Jackson would like O Kennedy on this wall over here.
Actually, Andrew Jackson wouldn't have liked any Kennedys anywhere if you think about it.
Well, I'm just saying.
Here's what I think I need to do. I need to get like 20, Kennedy like coins.
20 strong Kennedy family members.
Yes.
No, like the coins, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like I need to go bring those in there, like the 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
Like put the Kennedy on the wall.
$8.50 says you're gonna get this up on that wall next time.
So it didn't go well. And my wife's
You're
like,
0 for 2, right?
my wife's like, you're going to do that every time you come in here? And I'm like, until there's Kennedy on the wall, I am.
You should.
That's not helping your cause.
I've already lost, Troy.
You should, become an investor for his third location. Then
There you go.
How about this location? Let's start here. It's bad enough the other one's behind the TV, but this time he literally didn't even hang O Kennedy. Not O Kennedy, but O Kennedy.
he was
So
like, well,
my
I got the one
family
over there.
went and we ate at the New O'Toole's probably a month ago. And funny enough, my youngest son, his teacher is an O'Toole, and she's part of that family. So he got super excited. He's like, "Oh, that's my teacher's family. She works here on
Real
the weekends
O'Toole's
sometimes."
chicken?
Yeah, exactly. So what I did, I looked around and said, "Oh, my name's not up on the wall. Our name's not up on the wall." So what did I do? I Googled our family crest and I showed it to the kids. I said, "This is what ours would look like," and then we ate. And then I left.
I left a reasonable 20% tip
Yes.
without any confrontations.
I also, he was having a conversation with a table full of people as I was leaving. I went by the table.
In your defense, I bet that shit happens on the regular.
Of course, I'm not the only weirdo.
No, you can't be the only dumbass out there.
But I did walk by as I was leaving. I was like, hey, man, thanks so much. Love the place. Just gave him one of those. Like, try to show
Yeah.
him, like, I'm a normal guy. Like, high five.
That dad wave.
Yeah.
Lean
Yeah.
back
And
a
he was
little
like,
bit.
you have a good one. But when I started bitching about it, man, his eyes,
Oh, I can only imagine.
I was like, damn it. I made the wrong impression at the last one.
You think?
Because this one was
I
very
don't know how you
cordial.
thought this was going to go. Like, this could, in my mind's
he gonna
eye,
do?
this could only go this
He
way.
was going to climb up on a ladder and
Yep,
like paint the
yep.
crest right there for you.
I'm going to figure this out. I will get no
There's
Kennedy.
only one way to do it, and that's grease him. Slide
think-
him a $100 bill.
I got to give $100 to put a damn crest on the wall.
At
Oh, dude.
least.
You just spent $100 on Tim Miller lights. Like, that's not nearly as important as your family crest on the wall of the famous Irish bar in town, right?
Your logic rings true. I'm not happy about it.
Try 50. Who knows? I'm just saying.
Got a crisp Thomas Jefferson
right,
here
yeah.
for your little
Yeah,
$2.
let's start with some small bills.
Get them a couple rolls of Lincolns.
I think every time I come in there, I just start paying in Kennedy coins. Everything.
Every
I
time?
mean, everything. To the point that the registers are just absolutely slammed. That's the only thing. That's how I think this is
Yeah,
handled.
being a passive aggressive dickhead
Yes,
will get you far.
there you go.
So
Now you get it.
Yeah, now I'm Team
it.
Kennedy.
You see, you're feeling me, Troy, because that shit is money.
Oh no!
Wrong button.
Chris doesn't like it.
I was looking for that. It was not supposed to be a pee in my pants.
So back in the day, Clemson and Georgia Tech used to play football every year, but Georgia Tech refused to come to Clemson to play. They would only play in Atlanta. So Clemson would always have to travel 2 hours down the road to go play at Georgia Tech.
Bullshit.
And when Clemson finally was like, you know what, we're tired of this. Like, we really want you guys to come to Clemson. Like, let's make this fair. And Georgia Tech was like, nope, not going to do it. We refuse.
They're like, if you want to kick the shit out of us, it's going to be on our own turf.
Oh, back in the day, Georgia Tech was beating the shit out of everybody. That's back when John Heisman was the coach.
Yeah.
And so the last year that Clemson and Georgia Tech were going to play, a bunch of Clemson fans had got the idea that they were going to take $2 bills and stamp orange tiger paws on them. And that's all you were going to spend when you went to Atlanta. Nothing but orange tiger paw $2 bills, so that
Okay.
you could see the impact of how much playing Clemson had
Yeah, how
on
much
your economy.
money came in.
You want to keep this series going or whatever. So now there's a tradition that anytime you go for a road game, for like a Clemson football game, you carry $2 bills with orange tiger paws, and that's all you pay with. You leave tips with $2 bills. You
I
pay
love
out
this.
your bar tabs, everything with $2 bills to show like how well Clemson fans travel and everything else. So when you're talking about like showing up with like the Kennedy $50, I was like, man, that's a perfect little thing here.
See, he gets it.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive. Do they play now there?
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
in the same
damn
conference
right.
now.
You
Yeah.
see, it worked.
I listened to it's funny you bring that up because I listened to a podcast the other day about Georgia Tech football, and they have the record for highest score ever.
200 some to nothing.
222 to nothing
Against Cumberland.
Cumberland, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, you have it. Where
Yeah.
do you get it stamped?
So it's just this one I've actually had since I graduated. This
Oh,
was
they
my,
everybody just buys the orange stamp.
Yeah. And this
It's hard
one,
finding $2 bills these days, isn't it?
you can
Yes.
still get them from a bank.
You got to go to the
but-
bank.
so my mother-in-law always gives the kids $2 bills, and then I negotiate with the kids for like $4 to
Yeah.
get the $2 bill.
Anyway, let me interrupt you. On October
please do.
7th, 1916, Georgia Tech defeats Cumberland University 222 to nothing in the most lopsided game in college football history. Coached by John Heisman, later namesake of the college football's most famous trophy, Georgia Tech takes a 63-0 lead in the first quarter at Grant Field in Atlanta. And that, if I remember from the podcast, Cumberland had beaten the snot out of Georgia Tech in baseball like 2 weeks before, and then they couldn't even field a football team. So, like, the baseball team fielded as a football team, and they just got throttled.
So some fun fact about John Heisman also, he used to be the coach at Clemson, and Georgia
Oh,
Tech
wow.
hired him away from Clemson. So
yeah,
there was
that's some
tons of
bad
like
blood,
history
yeah.
and bad blood.
Troy, there's a little more to that story as to why that happened. It's because Cumberland had lost the funding for their football team.
That's right.
So they'd lost their football team, and they had reached out to all of the other teams they were playing and saying, look, we can't play.
Yeah.
So like you have to release us from the contract.
Oh, yeah.
There was
'cause
like a certain amount of money
$3,000 contract, which
Yeah.
was like $100,000
for every
in today's-
game that
yeah.
gets played, which is a ton of money. But Heisman was
Was
like
a fucking asshole.
He was
Yeah.
like, screw you. You guys are going to play. So what Cumberland did is they were like, well,
They
we still,
hired
we still have a
professional
baseball team.
players.
So they went and got a bunch of minor league players and brought them in because they were like, all right, you guys are going to be dicks. We're going to slaughter. So they crushed them in baseball.
Yeah, the
But
point
do you know
was,
who the
if we-
coach was of the baseball team?
If we win big in baseball, everyone will forget about the upcoming football loss.
Yeah, because he was like, we're going to funnel our pride into
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Well, Heisman was also the baseball coach.
yeah.
And so Heisman was so upset.
So he took that personally for the football
Yeah.
field.
Yes. And
So,
so,
he's Michael Jordan sitting there going, and I took that personally.
yes.
Fuck them kids.
And so they were like, we're not letting you out of it. So the Cumberland guys had to like field a team of no names because they didn't have a team.
I think it was a lot of baseball players.
It was just rando players from like the school. They were like, hey, you guys want to play? And that's how they whooped him. It's still the most lopsided victory in history. But it was
Well, can you imagine?
a dual fuck you.
Imagine how much you know of football. Like, I've never played any sanctioned football at any level, but I know football. If I tried to get out there and play at 20 years old at like against a team, like first off,
Well, they're a hell of a team too. Georgia Tech was the team.
They were a badass
It's like
team. but,
Notre Dame and Georgia Tech.
Like, just think like you don't even know when to go when the ball snap. You don't know how to line up properly. You don't know who to cover. Like that would be obviously so lopsided per
In
the
that
score.
scenario, it's like I'm playing offense and wide receiver probably.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be on defense because I'm not gonna know who to cover.
People were getting concussed and just the shit kicked out of them.
Back
They
when they were
just
wearing
kept
leather
going.
heads back in the day.
They just kept going after them.
The first play of the game.
We should give them credit. Was that a Radio Lab
Radio
or
Lab.
American, This
Radio
American
Lab.
Life?
Oh gosh, yeah, it definitely.
It's one of those two.
I believe it was Radio Lab because I love Radio Lab.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard that too, and I was like, "This story is hilarious."
Yeah.
But that's when I realized Heisman was an absolute douche nozzle.
Well, it got to be where like basically every play a score was happening.
Yeah, like the whole time. It was pretty. And on the very first play of the game, they knocked the shit out of the quarterback from Cumberland so bad that they like had to stretcher him out, and the kid came back and they did it again. Like, I kind of respect the whooping, but
I'm impressed. Cumberland just kept getting after it, even though they were getting throttled.
they tried. They even tried to run like some like weird Statue of Liberty play, like in the third quarter, like as they're getting crushed. They're like, we just got to score once, and like the trick play got blown up and destroyed. Respect though.
Yeah.
I like people that try.
It was a Radio Lab podcast. I looked it up.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, check it out. It's always a good story. Radio Lab does sports like we do sports. Hey, you got a rando story.
Yeah. I'd never heard that though. I guess being a
hadn't either.
Clemson fan, you'd heard that.
Oh yeah,
Or not Clemson. You went to Clemson.
both.
Yeah, but college sports is weird, especially SEC football. Like I would be willing to bet that, especially down in SEC country, like 90% of the fans have no affiliation with the school other than they live in the area.
They certainly don't have the education.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly part of it. My coworker is British actually, and he anytime I happen to wear like a Clemson polo to the office, for work, he's always like, I never understand like Americans' affiliation with like their university. He was like, I don't have a single piece of clothing that talks about the university that I went to.
So his football team sucked.
They don't have it. And I asked him one time, I was like, do they have like intercollegiate sporting at all? And he's like, no, it's not a thing. There's like club sports that go play other things.
I mean, that was huge from the onset of universities here.
Yeah.
Like Yale and
Absolutely.
Harvard hate each other, and it wasn't even before sports. It was like, oh, you go there, and then once football got involved, then it's like big time. But when I went to VCU in the mid to late '90s,
undefeated football.
that's right, still. But there was no you didn't see people wearing gear because sports weren't big, and it was
still a
commuter school.
huge like liberal arts school, commuter
Yep.
school, all that.
But sports make people.
I will say, especially going to a large Southern university, yes, it's a big deal. And
especially
you see it
down,
in the Northeast also, and you see it in the Midwest. Like that's certainly it's not.
well, a lot of the
exclusive to
states
the
don't
South.
have football. Like Alabama, they don't have a professional football team.
Yeah.
So it's like it's either
Oh, they
Auburn or-
do. Don't get
Yeah.
it twisted. They've always
They
had a
are
professional football team.
Did you hear Saban pitch a fit about that? That
Yeah,
was
I did.
hilarious.
Yeah.
What's he upset about? Because now he can't pay
The
him as
Texas
much.
A&M is like recruiting the hell / paying the hell out of players. They have like the best class right now, and they've been coming on the past couple of years. And Nick Saban literally threw his hands up. Was like, they're buying all the best players. This is ridiculous. There's no parity in this sport anymore, and that's just hilarious. That
Yeah, he's been
Nick
paying players forever.
Yeah, and there's been no parity because Alabama and Georgia have been, and Clemson every now and then, but not on their level. I mean, nobody's on their level.
It's funny when anytime Nick Saban says something like that. There was a couple years back where he was complaining about like up tempo offenses, and it was right after Clemson beat them for the national championship game. He was still like a I formation, grind it out, like
Yeah.
that's their team structure, quarterback who can make a pass, and that's it. And he said, he's like, is this the game we want it to be? This up-tempo thing?
Yes.
That's his warning
Bear
shot.
Bryant is rolling over in his grave.
Guess what they did the next fucking year? They came up with a hurry up, no huddle offense where they fucking threw the ball all over the place. So these kinds of comments from him are very much his warning shots. Like, hey,
Well, it's like-
I'm letting you guys know.
I'm going to pay a lot.
Exactly. He's
It's like
basically warning.
Coach K, like, and he was known for having kids 4 or 5 years, and and then it's like, Calipari's getting the one and done thing and being successful.
I can be
we'll
that
try
guy
that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Saban, anytime he kind of raises that red flag like that, it's like, it's very much a shot across the bow to everybody about, like, this is your last chance. Get in what you can get right now because it ain't going to last long because we're going to change it.
He's going to adapt. He'll overcome.
Absolutely. And he's done that 3-4 times in the last decade. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
But that's what makes him good.
Absolutely.
That's why Coach K was the greatest ever, because no matter how it was, he would just change. He would
Yeah.
just adapt with the times and be better.
yeah, guys like him, Saban, Belichick. I mean, you can talk shit about them all you want, but like those are the guys that look at the game and say, "Oh, this is the direction we're going. Okay, well, I'll go beat you in how this is done."
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can dislike it,
No, of course.
but I can't be mad at it.
As a UVA fan, it's frustrating because their football is trash, and if you're going to play fair, they should have a fighting chance because it's a nice school with nice facilities. But
Yeah,
you
that
know,
don't
it's
mean shit.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, I think there's. I mean, a lot of schools, UVA being one of them, especially in the ACC, they put a high price on the academic side still that limits them in some of the student athletes that they can get, and it's going to be a challenge for them always to compete against some of the schools that are willing to say like,
Yeah, we'll stop being a school.
I think that's eventually going to be the next step towards college football, is that it's going to become a semi to actual professional football league that's going to be completely separate from a university. I think that is something in the next 5 to 10 years.
That's good, because these kids should not be focused on education.
No, what's with the Cardell Jones tweet from years back when he was at Ohio State? It was like, man, I ain't come here to play school. It's like, yeah, I know, dog. You came here to get a fucking scholarship and go to classes if you want to and fucking win national championships. Like,
Yeah.
live your life.
I mean, let's be honest. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can take like volleyball in college, you might as well get some credits for being a sports, athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. The whole where we're at in college football nowadays and where it's going to go is, I can't begin to think what the next couple of years are going to be like. But I want the kids to get paid whatever else. Paid to play, pay for your name, image, likeness. So that's
And
what
those
they
that want
wanna
to go
call
to
it.
school,
Like,
you should. You should
absolutely.
take
You wanna get a
advantage of the
degree?
opportunity, get a degree. Because
Go get a degree.
tell you what, it actually can be helpful too.
Hell yeah.
Trying to make money.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to work.
Yeah. God, can you imagine? Then using your God-given talent.
The
to
thing about
fucking
the
run
thing
a
about the
4.240.
NIL is like
Yeah.
they should have always been gotten paid for NIL, but like it's getting out of hand because now it's not like I'm paying you because you're selling your jersey. Now it's just like we're just gonna pay you.
And that's the thing. The intention of the whole thing was supposed to be like, yeah, you can do a radio spot. Yeah, you can go do a TV ad for your local
But
dealership.
so how does that work, you think? Do you think the boosters come in, they go to the dealership and go, hey, I saw that you were going to pay this kid $5,000. How about you make it $50,000 and all you have to pay is the $5,000?
I think it's the boosters aren't going to the dealership. The boosters are the dealership already. The boosters are the law firm.
Oh,
They
they've
are
already
the whatever
invested
else.
in there, so they
Yeah,
can just
or
throw
they're
as
just
much
the
money
people-
as they want.
Exactly. They're already those people. And so now they say like, yeah, Brendan, you're coming to, Florida State and you're going to be our guy and we're going to pay you $5,000 to do a 2-minute radio ad once a week, and you're going to get paid $5,000.
Weren't they doing a
week.
version of that? Like, you're working for this
absolutely.
used car dealership and for 20 hours a week
It's
or
just-
whatever.
All of that wasn't sanctioned and quote unquote legal in the system that we had. And what we have now, again, was supposed to be that as a player, I could sign my jersey and sell it and make money without punishment from the NCAA. And instead, you have collectives, you have boosters, you have these people that are coming around and saying like, oh, I don't give a shit about your jersey. What I want you to do is be on this radio spot or on this TV ad or whatever the deal is. And you're
I'm not even mad.
$10,000 for it. It's
I'm
like
not even
an
mad.
exorbitant amount for what the effort is. But yeah, of course not.
We got to get an athlete.
The Inside the Pallet House sponsored athlete.
That'd be
yeah.
hilarious.
We need an athlete. He's got to be bad. I mean, real
Yeah.
bad. I can't afford a good athlete.
Yeah.
Like, I want a kid on the pine. You know, it's just
What
Yeah.
sport? What do you want to go for?
lacrosse.
Baseball.
I was gonna say get like a VCU baseball player or something.
Yeah, let's get him.
Or like Macon, like a D3 school.
Can't even do VCU baseball.
We could do VCU baseball. Sean at Nectar Sunglasses is a VCU, but he's still tight with the. I got it.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this happen.
Is our
A handful of
discount code
dudes I
fixed?
know there.
No, but I haven't reached out to
So
him.
we should ask him for money then.
More
Okay.
money.
Doesn't he want VCU baseball to rise back to the pantheon of collegiate
Yes.
baseball royalty?
I know a few former VCU baseball players. I could probably.
I got it in with
Figure
the
it
AD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I think
You're gonna throw some podcast money at that?
$7-8.
Dozens of dollars.
Who's your
That's
third
14
string
Kennedy
slash
coins.
your third string slash bullpen catcher?
Yeah.
we would like to have a conversation with him, please.
At least there's got to be someone with a dope mustache.
Oh, you would hope.
Like, that's our
I
guy.
mean, it's not college baseball without a mustache.
Clearly.
And a mullet. Hey, guess what happened yesterday? This never ever happens to me. I was out of town for this conference and they do a 50-50 raffle, so I threw $5 in.
Yep.
Like, this is a donation because I'll never win. Freaking won the damn thing.
Did you pull the old bullshit where you gave your 50 back, your 50% back?
Back
was
to my
like,
pocket.
Never heard about
Good
that.
for you. No. So I see this happen all the time when it's like a charity 50-50.
No, it's.
And
I mean,
see
it wasn't a
someone
charity. It
win.
was for the organization that.
Oh yeah, there you got to keep it. But I've seen that before. Where like it's a charity, and I'm always like, oh man, you're ruining it. And so now at charity events, I never buy a 50-50
Because you don't
'Cause
want
you
to
don't
win
wanna
it.
because I don't want to be the shamed guy.
Like you'd rather just make a $20 donation.
Clear, I'd gladly give you
Yeah.
$20, but God forbid you have to make me go through the whole shame.
If you
of-
won like $1,000 and like a 50-50, would you just like peel off a 20 and like hand it in and be like,
I literally want to peel off nothing. I won
zero.
the 50-50.
I already
Yeah.
gave you my 20.
Yeah, like I feel like I did my part.
Yeah, so I won $145.
Hell yeah.
Good for you.
And then today they were like, "Hey man, you buying more tickets today?" And I knew I wasn't gonna be there at the end of the day, so I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna give somebody else a chance to win." Oh man, you can't just win and leave. Buy one of those $20 mugs. You know, like they were like hounding me.
Of course they were.
I said,
You're
"Man,
flush with cash.
I said
You're
that-
rich.
I said that money's gone. I said I went out last
Consider
night.
that shit spent.
I got in an Uber last night, going from one place to another.
$145 on the nose.
No, but we were down in Virginia Beach, and we were staying right next 5 blocks from Murphy's Irish Bar.
Yep.
And we had gone up Shore Drive, so we were trying to get back to Murphy's. So I put in Murphy's, and like we get in the car, and we're like driving, and the guy's going in a different direction. But I mean, I know Virginia Beach kind of well, but like he was going in a
Is the
totally
water
different
on the
direction.
right or your left?
Yeah, like he should have turned left on Shore Drive to get back towards, but he took a right. But then like he's going through all these places. I'm like, does he know like some crazy back like? And it was like a $15 Uber ride.
Welcome to North Carolina.
So I look up at his phone in the mount and I see we're getting close to the destination. And I look around, I'm like, we are nowhere near the ocean front. I was like, hey, man, are we going to Murphy's at the ocean front? He was like, nah.
Nah, bro.
Like, we're going to the one in Norfolk.
Oh, dagger. Daggers.
I was like, damn it. I was like, I put the wrong one in. Like, it's on me.
Yeah.
So I like had to edit it mid-ride. I was like, do you mind taking us down? He's like, nah, man, I don't mind.
To where we were?
The 5 minutes.
Yeah. So it went from like $15 to $42. I was like,
He threw in a nice hundo for his troubles.
There
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Found
yeah.
it. Third try. Man, that's hard to remember all those buttons.
You should label them.
I can't. It's a bridge too far.
All right.
yeah. So my, a third of my winnings was immediately gone.
That does suck.
At least you won.
Yeah.
It takes the sting out of
it.
it.
It really did. And it was a fun ride. The guy was a cool driver and we were having fun. We were talking old school rap and stuff. So it was cool.
There you go.
Good times.
Good times. Speaking of good times, this was fun.
That's what this was.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in week and week out. We certainly do appreciate it. Those of you that are going through hard times, I know there are some listeners that are. We're thinking about you, and we hope that things get better. We know that doesn't mean much, but we're thinking about you over here. And everyone who did reach out last week and was sending all the well wishes, appreciate it so very much. You have no idea. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't had a chance to get a mortgage, you can always do so. Head over to Screen Door Mortgage. That's it. Just go to Screen Door Mortgage. Jimmy will take care of you. He will certainly make that process that's already a little bit stressful, a lot less stressful. Trust me on that, and still get you the best rate. Rates have gone up. So now's the time. No time like the present. If you haven't had a chance to head over to our Facebook page, please do so. If you haven't had a chance to rate and review wherever it is you get podcasts, please do. We are this close to actually making it to another threshold of listeners.
We might be able to monetize this thing.
You haven't heard this in a while, but you can Cincinnati swap. It's where you grab somebody's phone. When they say, what podcast do you listen to? You go, let me turn you on to one. You grab their phone. You go into their podcast app. You find Inside the Pallet House and you hit subscribe. It's the old Cincinnati swap.
That's right.
Certainly appreciate it if you did that.
We got another listener.
That's right. And there are only so many more that we really need to do before we do cross over into another threshold. Means nothing to you, means something to us. Probably honestly means more than the Venmo money. But if you're more of a financial donor, you can always do so. Head over to our Venmo.
At Inside the Pallet House at Venmo.
And you can always find us on Instagram or Twitter at ITPH Podcast. But if you really want to send us a topic, please do so at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you and hear how things are going in your life. If you got a topic, we'd love to talk about it because every week we come out here and we think, oh, shit, what are we going to talk about?
We didn't even talk about the first topic that we were going to talk about.
We touched on one, Brendan being a Karen at O'Toole's.
That's really the most important one.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
That was a pretty Kennedy podcast, don't you think?
Oh, Kennedy.
What do you mean you don't have Kennedy on the wall? American royalty used to do it. Just do it. Do it. Okay, do it.
You ever heard of John? Robert?
Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
Bring your silent partner over here since you're not listening, jackass.
You don't want to end up in a river. Call Ted.